So I figured before I tear it down anymore and get finished up on her, I'd make a little video for all of you guys. So 2012, but design is going to be similar to same for basically all the platforms with TDI. My 15 over there was just about the same. So you got a lock in here for the cam. Lock right there for the high pressure fuel pump. And down there you'll see, it'll be a little easier if I get over here. And you'll see you got your locker right there. It's much easier if you just order the locking kit, especially because it's high pressure fuel pump. It is on a spring, so if you do undo the belt and don't have that locked, it is going to go ping, and then you can cause injection variations and all sorts of stuff. So always have it locked. After you're going to lock them and ensure they're locked, the cam one can be a little weird at times because it doesn't sit flush in there, but I checked that it's locked. Rock it back and forth, make sure that that gear is locked in there, it's not moving. You're going to undo just a quarter turn or so, those three. It's going to allow this cam to rotate without moving the timing. And the same is going to go for this high pressure fuel pump. It's going to allow it to walk a little bit. You're going to need that. When you go to install your belt, you're going to need that wiggle room, or else you're never going to get the belt on, never in correct timing. You need that wiggle room. So I already took off the timing belt tensioner, as you could see. Got to take this stud out too. Got to remove all my idlers and then the water pump. But very important bit of knowledge here is the motor mount bolts. A lot of people don't know this. Some of the kits, they don't come in it. All of the motor mount bolts, aside from these and the bolts for your fuel filter, they're all one-time use. So these two here that go right here, these are the most common fail point I see. What happens is people reuse these bolts. They're stretch bolts. They're not made to be reused. So in this instance, we kind of have to. Unfortunately, customer had a kit that did not include them. So I'm going to put some blue Loctite on it. And he's got the new bolts and he's going to change them out. So some blue Loctite should be just fine. He knows to watch them if they walk. Because otherwise what will happen is as you drive slowly, these are going to start walking, and then the whole engine will drop, and then that's it. So all those one-time use. That includes the three, the 1, 2, 3 that connect on the side. Those are also one-time use. So now I'll make another video once I have all the idlers taken out. We're gonna, because there's a lot of debris in here, we're gonna clean it out real fast, blow everything out of here, and I'll check back with you guys. So back here, got the time belt all installed now. Couldn't record while showing the process, but it's pretty straightforward. You're gonna notice it's a little bit tight when you get it on. There's a few ways you can get it on. But basically you want to slip it on, and like I said, these are going to rock and move to help you with that. So once you get everything on, you're going to want to tighten your nut, tighten your tensioner. Make sure you're right in that space. There needs to be right in that space. Tighten the nut down, torque it down as well. Once that gets torqued down, then you torque everything else. You're going to torque these 3 nuts down, torque these 3 triple squares down, remove your locks, remove your lock. Hold on one second. And also big thing to do too, there was a lot of dirt and contamination in here. Big thing to do is air everything out, blow everything out, make it nice and clean. You don't want nothing on this timing belt. It should be clean as a whistle. So once you remove your lock for your crank down there, you're gonna put your crank bolts all back in. And then this is the most important step. This is what will tell you if you did this right or if you didn't do it right. And if you didn't do it right, it's gonna make you have time to go back. So you're gonna put it right on there and let you have time to come back. You could always backtrack if you feel it lock up, you get your timing off maybe a hair. You should be bang on, but I always, no matter what, if it's locked or not, always rotate it 2 times over. So we're gonna rotate it 2 full rotations. So that crown is gonna make whole 2 rotations. So I'm gonna start. Hold on. I had to tighten the crank bolt a little more. Okay. Hold on, Dust. So when you're doing this, this will never, ever damage your valves or the head, because this is an interference motor. Most motors in today's world are interference motors, unless it's an old school push rod engine. So he's going to go all the way around. This would cooperate and stop popping off. Oops. And it's okay too, for those that don't know what it feels like when you're turning over, it's okay to have a little resistance here and there. You're just going through a compression stroke. That's all it means. No biggie. But you'll feel it. If it's a valve, it's going to stop. It's going to stop in its place. Here, I'm going to put the phone down and continue doing rotations because it's hard to hold the phone and do this. I accidentally cut the video short there. Let's see if I can get a good angle here. Beautiful. Alright, so we've made 1 whole rotation now. Now I'm going to do a whole nother rotation, 1 more. Stay. I really want to get that view where that crown is at. So we've done 1 full rotation. I do 2 full rotations just to be sure. And anytime I do timing work, I do 2 rotations. Theoretically, 1 should be fine because you've made your full rotation. I do 2 just because I like to. Ah, darn it. Yeah, this whole recording thing is very difficult. If I end up making more videos, I'm going to definitely get some sort of frickin' holder or something for this, man. Oh my god. This is terrible. Oh my god. Jesus, there's nowhere to hold this frickin' phone. Okay, there we go. So, back to what I was saying. You're going to want that crown back up there. And we're right back at TDC, or top dead center. So, biggest thing when you're rotating it, you want to watch that it's seating everywhere great. It's not going to be rubbing. I'll show you an example of the old belt where this was not done. As you can see, this side, here, let me clean up the lens a little bit. Better picture here. There we go, that's better. So as you can see here, focus in, there's no wear. That's good. However, see that? It was rubbing, they didn't have it seated quite all the way. And it was rubbing, it rubbed that whole part of the belt away. And you really want to watch out for that stuff because it's gonna, that was part of the reason why all this was so dirty and black and there was gunk everywhere. It's because if that is rubbing on anywhere, it's gonna get all up in here. And you don't want nothing getting in here. So that's all for today's video. For disassembly, or for reassembly, I mean, my apologies. We're gonna put all the covers back on. Actually, you need to take that crank bolt back, all the crank bolts back out, because you need to fit the cover behind that. So this is only, I put that on just to test and make sure we're all smooth. You don't want to crank it by your cam bolt here. Some people, I see them, you know, turning the engine over by this. That's a very bad idea. It's a very, very bad idea. Do not do that. Only use your crank bolt, okay?